Good morning, everyone. I'm just making this video on how to make nice graphs, nice tables, in Microsoft Excel, because I'm still getting some pretty dodgy looking tables being submitted. Now, Year 9s and 10s for your investigation, this would be a good video to watch, but also my 11s and 12s need to be presenting good tables also. This data was taken from a science inquiry skills test from a Year 11 test from a few years ago. And it's been scribbled down on purpose so that students can then make their own tables. Now, firstly, I'm going to write a title, and it might simply be table velocity. Try again. Velocity of mass. Velocity of sphere as mass is added. Something like that. I'm not quite sure what the nature of the experiment was. Now, we'll write our first table there. First heading, mass in grams, and then velocity in meters per second. Now, we'll go 0, 50. Now, Excel can actually detect patterns. So if I highlight the first two cells, it looks like each cell is 50 greater than the previous one. I'll click on the bottom right corner and just drag that down, and it'll do it all for me. Also, you'll notice I don't want to put units in the rows. They go up the top here. Now, this is something that I like to do personally. Velocity, you'll notice it's gone over the width of the column. If you select wrap text, it will take the text that's sort of hidden behind the column, and it'll just throw it down onto a new line. And you can do the same with this one. If I wrap text here, it's not doing anything because it's not behind the width, but what you can do is just sneakily just press space a few times. Boom, and there it is. Now, we've got 3 trials, so I'm going to need to insert a row underneath, and I'm going to write trial 1, trial 2, trial 3. Now, it says, remember to convert. I need to convert into meters per second. So I'm going to take these numbers and just do some mental maths. I'm going to divide each by 100. And that way the data is in meters per second. All right, so I'm just going to very quickly type all this out. 0.142, you might want to skip ahead. 0.140. Have I missed something? Oh, sorry, my apologies. We need to drag that down because the 0 grams, it floated. So 0.159, 0.157, 0.160. And then up here, I might place a dash, a dash without moving my cursor, and that will then just be a dash there. Now, you'll notice that if there's a 0, it rounds, and we actually want those zeros. All of these measurements were taken to the same precision, and Excel tries to round data if there's zeros. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight these, and up in the number ribbon, you've got increase decimal, and I'm just going to click that once, and then I'm going to decrease it back. And you'll notice now all my data is expressed to the correct significant figures. Okay, so that makes it look a lot nicer. One other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my data, and I'm going to go center justify, put it in the middle like so. We can do the same with our headings and our units. Center justify. There we go. Now, last thing is this heading is common to column B, C, and D. So we're going to merge and center that. Now, that looks nice, but now we've got a wide heading, and it's put the units back along with velocity. So I might just space, and force the units to go underneath. That looks a lot nicer. One thing I like to do is bold my headings. I might bold my trials as well. Now, the last thing, I'm just going to get rid of that row. I'm going to add some borders. So we'll go to borders. Let's go all borders and see how that looks. That looks nice. We could go thick borders outside. Might sort of make it look a little bit nicer. Table, velocity of sphere as mass is added. That looks good. This cell here is empty. And so let's just merge and center that one. There we go. That looks nice. So now you've got your independent variables, normally the first column going down, then your dependent goes along like so. I'm pretty sure that's everything. You are able to add little notes, so you could go note sphere floated with 0 grams added, something like that. Okay, now let's get rid of him. This looks nice. One other, the numbers look a little bit close together, so what we could do is if I highlight not the cells but the actual row numbers, I've highlighted all 6 of them. I'm just going to grab one. It's currently 29 pixels, and I'm just going to make it a little bit larger, and that's going to do it for all of them. Let's make it, I don't know, 35. Okay. Now, our data is at the bottom of the cell. We want to middle align it rather than bottom align. So I'm going to bump them to the middle. That's looking pretty good now. Okay. You can do other things like add a little bit of shading, not too much. That looks good like that. And so now your headings are definitely different to your data. And that's about it. Is there anything else? I mean, you can, no, I think that's pretty good. You can rotate your, that looks pretty silly. Where did it go? You could go rotate text like that, but really, having it aligned like that looks pretty damn good. Now, one last thing I'm going to do is to show you the best thing you can do is once you've done your table in Excel, you literally just copy and paste it. Control cut, open up Word, Control V, and there it is. Okay, so you can, no, see, now I'm screwing with that. Down the bottom here, we might be able to open it up. That's pretty good. You can decide to maybe just copy the data across, and you can add your titles after the fact. All right, so you could then put your title up here, table velocity of sphere as mass is added, and that way it's not going to wrap the text again. So that was just a very quick little video on how to make nice tables. That looks a lot better than the hand-drawn one. So I'll leave it there, and good luck with your table creation.